Hi guys, I'm back. I was speaking about the vaccination that in Brazil we have available for free for cats and dogs, and the government helps with the cost for the vaccination of herbivores, and the human population also receives vaccination depending on the circumstances. And for human prevention and treatment of disease after exposure, we will have vaccination and the use of serum of immunoglobulins. We will also have the recommendation for washing wounds that might be bites or scratch with soap to avoid the virus replication. Once that the envelope of the virus is made by fat, that soap will kill the virus if the virus is present. And we also have the recommendation to avoid touch animals' mouth. In this case, we are talking about mainly herbivores in case they get sick, and notify healthy authorities straight away. Try to contact the vet in case of any cow or horse seems to be sick. It is very important to stimulate the population to search health service in case of aggression by any kind of animal, because they played a major role for the transmission of the disease. Now I will talk a little bit about BSE, bovine spongiform encephalitis, or the medical disease. The first region which identified this condition was the United Kingdom, where a massive number of new cases were described between the years of 1980 and 1990. BSE is caused by a peculiar infectious agent called prion. The prions are protein particles able to infect and induce their replication inside a healthy cell of the nervous system of bovines, and its accumulation seems to be responsible for the main clinical presentations of the disease, which include behavior change, aggressiveness, hind limb ataxia, and among other symptoms. BSE is spread to susceptible bovines through the consumption of tissues from animals infected or contaminated by prions. Humans eating infected animal products are susceptible to develop a variant form of the disease called Creutzfeldt-Jakob. Therefore, BSE might acquire zoonotic characters. The diagnostic will be made through histopathology and immunohistochemistry of the central nervous system, mainly the brainstem of the suspected animals. And what we expect to see is if the animal is infected by the pathogenic prions, is the vacuolization of the central nervous system, which are represented by these white areas in the photo that should be filled with functioning tissues. That prevention and control. Prions are highly resistant to the conventional forms of disinfection and sterilization, such as heat, ultraviolet rays, and common available disinfectants. Therefore, the main effective action is to ban mammalian and avian meat-borne products to feed bovine, bovine, ovine, and caprine, allowing processed animal proteins exclusively for the feeding of fish and carnivores. These policies can change among different countries. In Brazil, for example, all types of animal products and protein are forbidden to feed any kind of herbivores. Brazil is classified as having a negligible risk for BSE, although feeding ruminants with animal protein, including rejects from the swine and avian industry, is forbidden by the national health authorities because of the risk they represent for the transmission of BSE. Some farmers are still doing this dangerous practice, which places Brazil in a complex situation where it can lose its actual status of negligible risk for BSE. Sorry guys, in the slide it's BSE, but I mean it's written BSB, but I mean BSE. Despite of avians don't present risk for the disease transmission directly because they can't get infected by the prions, they can be fed with animal products and protein in Brazil. If these products are infected or contaminated by the pathogenic herbivore prions, these animals can act as a physical carriers of the prions to the cattle. As I said, many farmers in Brazil use rejects from avian and swine industry because it's a cheap source of protein to feed their cattle, increases the production in a cheap way. They must understand that this practice may break the whole country in case an outbreak of medical disease occurs. Our economy would be devastated. Health authorities should be more rigid to avoid this to happen, and to punish and teach these producers why it's so important not feed their cattle with rejects from the avian and swine industry. My last example is about influenza viruses. They have many different reservoirs being able to infect different animals and humans. Among the animals, we have many wild birds as reservoirs, and they are very important because they help the virus spreading around different territories. These viruses, they are RNA, and we will have three different types, A, B, and C. They are from the family Orthomyxoviridae, transmitted by direct or indirect contact, and can spread rapidly or slowly depending on the strain. Influenza viruses have a particular capacity to create different strains, making it possible to infect new or previously immune hosts. They can do this basically through mutation in their binding sites of the immunoglobulin, or even through reassortment, when two or more different viruses infect the same individual and can exchange genetic material with each other. The influenza viruses frequently use this artifice, which makes possible constantly emergence of new epidemics in humans involving modified strains from animals. There are vaccines for animals and humans. In Brazil, we have vaccine for horses, for example, and of course for humans as well. Clearly, the vaccines need to be different in each part of the world because of this great capacity of mutation of these viruses. As a result, vaccines updates need to be done constantly because of the new strains which are created in a short interval of time. Animals are the core for viral reassortment. While locally populations face every year epidemics of influenza, mainly in the winter, Asia is a very well-known place to gather all necessary conditions for being responsible for the severe human pandemics. The intimate contact between human and animals, mostly in salubrious conditions, is a perfect nest to provide viral reassortment, hence generating ability of strains previously from animals to infect and cause very often deadly disease in humans. Wild birds, they may be able to carry these viruses, so they are a very important risk factor for the epidemic of influenza. Conclusion and perspective. The relevance of animals for transmission of disease is a proved fact which is known and has been studied by scientific community for years. Zoonoses have a greater relevance nowadays because of the better control of human disease and better methods of diagnostic of new pathogens. Despite of all the negative impacts they can represent to a population, there are positive points also, as the creation of the vaccine against smallpox through the use of the bovine virus, which is a zoonose, however, far less severe than the smallpox in humans. So the human vaccine against smallpox was made using a virus from the cowpox, a bovine virus. Around 70% of new human emerging diseases are zoonoses. Expectations for the future are that the majority of the emerging disease will be caused by RNA viruses from wild animals. Modern approaches to prevent and control zoonoses are much more complete and very clear and emphasize the necessity for collaboration among professionals from different areas. The new concept is called One Health approach or multidisciplinary collaboration, where human and animal health are considered intimately connected, and it's known from bringing better outcomes in a short period of time. It is important to have effective surveillance and prevention programs and contingency schemes where professionals from different areas can interact freely, generating a quick and holistic response towards the controlling of zoonoses, being prepared for the new challenges which will be exposed as a result of human activities and behavior. So it's all. Here are my references. Thank you for the patience. Sorry for my accent. I hope I made myself clear enough to you guys. I hope one day meet you, my colleagues, and my professor in a person. I hope you guys have enjoyed the presentation. Thank you, and until next time.